Yeah. Come on. Let's talk it out. Say what you wanna say. Let's talk.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Talk Show with DM Entertainment. Today is Thursday, November the 13th, 2025, and we will be discussing narcissistic relationships as part of our comprehensive month series on this topic. This is an important topic to me in these women, in other women, because a lot of people don't even know what narcissistic people is. Narcissist is. I just thought it was Donald Trump. So when I started learning and studying and doing my research, I found out a whole lot about narcissists. That's my favorite word. I've been saying it for months. But I learned a lot about it. So I give you guys my gratitude, and I thank everyone for tuning in today. We are filming here at the beautiful CMAX Studios here in the Fresno and Clovis areas. And before we get started, I am Lashonda, Denise, your host, and I would like to introduce our special guest for today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my name is Sadara Burton, and I am a survivor of domestic violence.
Woo! Yes! Woo, woo, woo! We welcome you here, and we're flattered to have you. We're excited to have you because you are a survivor. You are a survivor, and we need more people like you to step up. So I'm excited to get a chance to get into that segment. And you, beautiful.
I'm Denise Lancaster Young, and I'm an associate mental health therapist.
All right. Welcome. And you?
And me? No. I'm Demisha Steele. I am a jack of all trades, but I'll let you know I'm a realtor today.
Okay. I want my house. And one of our co-hosts.
Hello there, I'm Tanella, Bessard, and I will say I'm an entrepreneur, kind of similar.
All right.
Hi, so my name is Chevelle Marie. I'm also an entrepreneur, jack of all trades, but here I also have a nonprofit called Arise Women's Foundation. I am also a survivor of domestic violence, so now I advocate for women and educate them on the signs of abuse.
Yes! And you?
And my name is Verlis Page. Most people know me as D. I'm your friendly neighborhood sociologist here in Fresno. So I'll just be trying to add my insights.
All right. Thank you, D. We enjoy your insights all the time. So, before we get started, I would like for Chevelle to get us a little bit into what we're going to be discussing in this beautiful segment for 3 whole months.
Okay, so I have some notes here. So we're going to be talking about narcissistic abuse. And so a lot of people think they throw it around so loosely, but narcissistic is also referred to as NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder. And a lot of times, there's really no cure for it because they don't think anything's wrong with them. But we're gonna go deep into this. I have my notes because my ex-husband was a narcissist. His twin sister's a narcissist. So I was like, when I was going through the situation, I wanted to, while I was healing, I did my own research, right? I don't have a PhD and all of this other stuff, but you could self-educate yourself. And I'm very aware of what narcissistic abuse is. And a lot of times it goes back to your childhood. So how people get a narcissistic personality disorder because they create a false narrative of their self and it becomes a facade and they want people to believe this is really them, but in reality they're horrible people. And in my situation with my ex, it went back to my childhood. When I started healing, it went back to my childhood. I'm not a narcissistic, but I came in contact with him because I'm empathetic.
Empathetic.
Empathetic. There we go. So narcissistic people like people that are empathetic, and they use and abuse them because they're so loving and want to give chance after chance after chance. So that's something we're gonna talk about.
Okay, and I appreciate that. And before we get into this deep subject,
Yes.
we are going to take a quick break.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
What I love about CMAC is that they provide me with the knowledge,
the equipment, the space to express myself,
to amplify my voice,
to share my story, my story.
my story. Go to cmac.tv/mystory to learn more.
All right. Okay. We also have a few special guests that's going to be here today, and we're going to start off with one of them that's going to be telling us a little bit about her life and how she's a survivor. She's not a victim, but she's a survivor. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I guess it's about 2011. I was out of the relationship. I actually was threatened if I didn't leave the relationship by CPS because the relationship was violent, that I would lose my children. So of course I wanted to exit and be done with the relationship. I moved on. I gave up my home. I lived in the Marjorie Mason Center for some time. Me and my children received emergency housing. There is where my abuser found me and my kids, and he used to use the fact that I was saying I was keeping the kids away from him to, I guess, to get to me. So anyways, one of those days around 2011, he wanted to get together and talk, I guess about trying to get back together or something like that. I didn't want any parts of that. And he came to my house, and he was very angry because there was someone there. He had told me before if I ever decided to move on with my life or if I ever had anyone around his child that he would take my life. And he saw that there was someone there, and he was doing his best to get into my place. I had a screen door, and the person that was there, for some reason, I'm not sure what he said to this person, but he opened the door. And he came into the building, and he began to beat me. Fell down several times, jumping back up. His point was to beat me to death in front of the person that opened the door and had my phone and my 2 young children. At the time, all I remember is hearing my children, the screams and pleas of my children for me. I think that's the only thing that gave me strength to fight back, because I never had fought back. Mm-hmm. But this was different because it would have been the last attack. During the attack, I could hear loudly someone telling me to fight. Now this is internally. So I do definitely believe in a higher power. And in hearing that, I tried to get myself together, picking myself back off the ground from these hits. I made it to a closet. I had in that closet, set up on top of that closet was a knife that I had literally found outside walking down a busy street. I was job searching. I set that knife up there, and that knife sat there for weeks. Then as this was happening, something told me to fight. So in the midst of jumping up, I ran. I made it to that knife. And I turned back to my attacker, who went to administer more punches. I swung that knife. He swung his arms. He kind of giggled, I guess, because he thought, I couldn't do anything to him or any harm or anything. I connected with that knife. I did not know that until he stopped, froze, and turned to retrieve and ran to his car. So after he ran away, I made it to my phone. I called 911. I explained the situation. I'm already in an emergency place where I was hiding from this individual who was on the run from a previous beating. There's a lot of paperwork, many calls from being jumped on. He made it to his car, and that was as far as he made it. The police, I think they called him dead when he got to the hospital. So he did not survive the ordeal. I did.
Come on.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm so sorry. Thank you, God.
Then I had to sit in front of CPS and plead for my children back. They only spent one night away from me. They gave me my children, and I went on from there into counseling and a domestic violence center.
Okay.
God is good. Yes.
Yes.
You know what? I'm just, it just touches my heart to hear the fight in you, because a lot of times we as women, I've been abused too. And at the time when I was getting beat like that, I just knew I was gonna die. And I had nobody there in the room with me. And I was just saying to myself, I know I'm gonna die. I don't have nobody. Who gonna help me? Can't nobody come. Nobody is gonna come, you know? And I know what it means when you say the person just beat you and beat you to kill you. They don't stop. They don't stop. They just keep beating you. You ain't fighting back at this time because you're helpless. And I just was beat, and I was just, and then I thought about it. I said, oh my God, baby is in the other room. What's gonna happen to her? Because if someone's beating you like this, you thinking like, oh, who is he? What if I'm gonna die? Because I just knew I was dead. I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew I was dead. You know, I'm gonna go see my son. That's my whole thing. I kept saying, I'm gonna go be with my baby. I'm gonna go be with my son. And when I thought about her, I was like, is he gonna kill her? Is because she's the only one that's here to witness what's going on, and he knows she's here because I had yelled out when he first started, call the police. And he went in there after beating me. He beat me for a little while longer, and he went in there, got her phone. Give me the phone. I heard that because I'm on the ground. I heard him do that, and he took the phone, and something happened, and then he came back and he was looking around, and I was like, "What you looking for?" And he said, "I'm looking for your phone." And I said, I was looking for my phone too, because I didn't know if he was gonna get something to beat me with it, you know. I said, well, my phone's right there, because maybe he was thinking I was gonna call the police. Yeah. So he shut that door and he started beating me again. Just beating me. I knew I was dead, but when I said as I was thinking, I said, oh my God, my goddaughter is there. It just came upon me after probably about 40 more hits in my head, not on my face, not in my stomach, not in my back, on my head and the back. I don't know if you men in prison or been to prison, or y'all discuss among yourselves to beat the woman in the head, on the top and in the back. Maybe because I can't get knocked out that way, but it can apply a lot of pain to you, and it don't show any bruises. So I said, hey, because I had to save her. You know, when because if I die, she dead. He ain't gonna let nobody live, and he didn't kill me, and he gonna go to jail. So when I said that, I started talking about my son, and he was just listening, and I was saying, it ain't your fault, it ain't your fault, it's not our fault, I'm going through something about my son to save my goddaughter. I did this to save her, because I was was gonna let me die if it wasn't for her. You know, me thinking about her, I would have died. Because I wouldn't have never did. He wouldn't stop. I had my hands over my head. He wouldn't stop. I couldn't believe what was going on. Nobody was there. So I understand when you say somebody beat you like that and they don't stop. You don't understand how a person can beat you. I was with this man for 7 years. He never hit me before. Never. So I couldn't understand, who was he? He wasn't angry or none of that. He just wanted to beat me. I don't know what happened. What made him so mad to beat me? I could barely walk sometimes, my knees or whatever. But I didn't even mean to say this to tell my story. But by you telling your story and sharing that with us, we understand you. But your kids was there watching this. How many people who's getting abused right now have their children sitting there watching this? Their mother, that's the person they love more than anything, getting harmed, and there's nothing they can do about it. Anybody have anything to ask?
Oh, I have this. Sorry. I know a few times. Well, because I was married to my ex-husband for 11 years, so I think back, and I know my oldest son, he's 25 now, he would be like, Mom, let's just say we're going to go to the store and leave. My son was 5. My other son, he is now 18, the middle son, Jalen, but he was that age too, and he was like, I remember we were in the car, and he pulled my hair and he was just beating me, and my son was crying. He was like, Mom, like, I'll listen. And like, you never, as a mother, you never forget like your kid's cries, you know, when stuff like that happens. So like, I commend you for telling your story, because a lot of women do not tell your story. They don't tell their story because they don't want to be judged. That's why what I do, like, I'll tell my story to the world, because it's going to save someone else's life, because we are the voice for those women who can't speak up because they're silent, because their abuser silences them. You know, the abuser, they just continue and continue and continue, and they don't know when to stop. So I commend you for telling your story, and you're a brave woman for telling your story. So I commend you.
Very, very brave. Anybody else have any questions? Or?
And I want to say too, I really commend you, all of you, you know, because you guys have been through something that, to me, I mean, I raised 4 beautiful young ladies, you know, and if a man put their hands on them, they're gonna have to contend with me, you know. That's just that, you know, because they mean the world to me. Those are my babies. Those are my girls, you know, and they were given to me to protect them, and so I will protect them, you know. And so Chevelle, you know, you, Lashonda, all of you guys went through something that, you know, as a man, you know, I'm saying this, you know, you guys are brave, you know, extremely brave, you know. And when cowards like that do that, you know, the reason why they do that is because they want to exert some kind of power. They want to be in control. They want to have a controlling faction of who they are, you know, and we cannot emulate that kind of behavior, because a little boy watching that grows up saying it's okay to put our hands on a woman. A little girl seeing a man do that, okay, she grows up to become a misandrist. You know, a misandry is the hatred for men, you know, and a woman can become a misandrist and say, hey, you know what, you know, I can't stand men, I hate men, you know. And so that abuse doesn't just abuse the person that they're abusing, it abuses everyone within that family, you know. And it's you know, people got to be better, you know, we got to do better, you know, because I cannot fathom, I cannot even see a man, you know, I'm a big guy, you know, and I don't care how mad a woman makes me, I would never lift my hand to a woman. I would never do that, you know. I fight with my sister all the time. I don't never hit her. I would never hit her, you know. I'll just talk about her. That's it, you know. So,
I'm glad that we're covering narcissistic abuse, because it goes into that, and we're going to get deep into that. But that kind of behavior is childish behavior, and narcissistic people, when they act like a kid. They act like a little baby throwing a tantrum, and they want to hit people. And like V said, they're straight up cowards. They're cowards. Like a man is always going to overpower a woman. You know, there's no reason for violence. You can disagree to agree, walk away, and come back and talk a healthy, like, talk about it. You know, come to a conclusion, and that's it. You know, there's no need for violence. And like you said, it's learned behavior. A lot of times too, it's generational.
Yes.
It's generational.
It's passed down. It's passed down.
If you don't listen to me, if I don't like what you say, if somebody make me angry, I'm gonna beat them.
Yes.
This is the way they think. This is the way they saw other people do things. If they don't, let her say something else to me, I'm gonna punch her. And then they glorify it.
Yeah.
They be like, "Ooh, did you see how she hit her?" Or he beat her down. And come on.
But I want to say I'm so glad that you guys are telling your story. I'm so glad because a lot of people, a lot of women I come across don't want to tell their story. They don't want people to judge them. So we're the voices. We're the voices for those women. We give these women hope that, hey, if they got out of that relationship and they can heal and they can thrive in life, hey, I have a chance. So you guys are so strong, and I just wanted to really commend you guys on that. And my heart is so happy because, you know, I tell my story all the time, but like we talked, we need more women to come and rise up and share their story, you know?
And have the courage to fight back, right? You know, not to become a victim.
Yes.
You know, it kind of disturbs me when you hear these stories, right? It always started somewhere, right? It started somewhere. And as you were just saying, Shonda, it's someone else that hears, right? They heard that this person said, well, I'm going to sock her, or I'm going to hit her, or I'm going to slap her. And the family, the friends aren't speaking up against this and saying, hey, that's not right, right? It starts with that silent encouragement. So we have to really promote the speak up, right? Speak up. If you see something, you know, speak up, right? You often see the women, you'll see signs of it. You'll see signs of the abuse where they're getting quiet. You know, you'll see them kind of holding their head kind of silent. You'll see them jump. Right? You'll see all these little things that are, you know, giving you signs that something isn't right, but, you know, be okay to speak up. And the ladies that are dealing with that, don't feel like, you know, I think oftentimes they'll threaten you, right? I'm going to hurt the rest of your family. You right? Nobody's going to believe you. You got to be okay to speak up. You got to speak up. You have to take your power back, right? Because that's what it's designed for. It's designed to take our power away.
Yes.
So I commend you. I commend you. You know, and I know it's not an easy thing to live through, and I can't imagine, you know, when you recall those events, the emotions that you're feeling, but just know from one sister to another, we applaud you, we stand behind you. We are definitely here to support you and keep you lifted, you know, when you're having those tough days, because you made a big decision and you heard, right? You heard that voice and you fought back, and you were a survivor.
Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking because he laughed. Because like, what you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
So that just was showing you that's how they feel, because they feel so superior.
Yes.
You know, they feel so like, you can't do what that's gonna do. And then I'd be scared too, like, oh my God, you fit to really beat me. But I don't have any word. I don't know what to say, because if I had anything that I could say, I mean, at that time or do to protect myself, like I tell people to get what you call one of those things? The mace, the bear spray, or go to the gun range and learn how to shoot the gun. Anything to protect ourselves. I'm so tired of hearing women get beat and get killed.
One thing I want to add, so like I said, I was with my ex for 11 years. I was so terrified of him. Like in the beginning, I didn't call the cops for a whole year, and he was beating me up, and he would just get a thrill. Like, he was just so evil. And then after the year, I was like, I'm tired of getting beat up. I started fighting back. I started documenting things. Documenting things is a key piece when you go to court, when you go to the Marjorie Mason, whatever. They're going to ask you, if you document, do you have proof? You have to have some kind of proof. Okay, he did this day. He threatened me, this, that, and the other. Because it's going to hold your case that much even stronger for you to get a restraining order, for you to get protected. So that's one thing. A lot of women, I don't want to call the cops. Okay, you have to call the cops. Like my life, like I always say, by the grace of God, I'm here because like he tried to take me out like several times, you know? And we have to we have to document things. We have to call the cops. Who cares what people say? It's either your life or, call the cops,
Well, and we have to commend you too, Chevelle, because you mentioned this happened in front of your babies, right? What do? Right? You're sitting there and you're getting grabbed and someone's attacking you and your babies are sitting here. How do you get out of a situation like that, right? You have to go into survival mode and, and sometimes it makes you, right, you're a protector, right? So then you become protective of the situation, not realizing, that it's also, it keeps birthing a bigger issue each, but shout out, you made it out again. It's nearly impossible, right? And then you got the ladies, the ones that are a little bit, we fight, right? Like we don't look at it as abuse, right? You hit me, I'm hitting you back. But again, that's still a form of abuse because like you said, any man that's raising his hand to a woman, we got a problem, right? Walk away. And anytime you start seeing those symptoms, someone's jerking and, budging at you and you're feeling uncomfortable, I say let it go. We talked about that with the last segment on, when you start ignoring those flags, but you got to be able to be strong enough to walk away.
I just ignored a lot of the red flags. I don't even understand why today I ignored the flags.
Well, one of the things that happened to women mostly is that it started out as verbal abuse and you don't even realize that this person is putting you down. They're gaslighting you. They're making you feel small. They isolate you. They start complaining about your family, your friends. They get you to the point where you're just about them. Once you do that, you have given up all your strength. You keep the baddest girlfriends you ever had. And let them come over and help you out. Because you can get rid of them. You really can. But you have to know what emotional abuse is. So many of us are used to coming up in a household where people are screaming at you, putting you down, then you go into that relationship that's equal to it. I tease my daughter all the time, and I tell her, I said, oh, you're doing soft parenting. But I did soft parenting with them because I saw my two sisters in abusive relationships. And I always think back now, if I would have done some of the things that I did to save my sisters' lives, I would be locked up for life. Because I refused to allow anyone to put their hands on my sister.
Come on.
And
I
was the smallest one in the family, but I did not take no mess.
Come on.
I heard that.
Because
once I heard that they got into it with their mates, I made sure I stepped up and stepped in their face.
Yes.
So, we have to you never give up your friendships, you never give up your family. If he's asking you for those things, cut him off. Yes, because those are one of the red flags. We are enjoying this conversation. Before we leave, can you please come back so we can get to some of the therapy things I know you had to go through? And like you said, you did this for your kids. You wanted to be with your children. She didn't want to harm nobody, but she had to protect herself. And I'm sure he had family. I'm sure he had all kind of people on her. They want to be mad at her because she got beat. They want to be mad at me because I got beat. They want to get mad at Chevelle because she got beat. Like you said, they blame us. It's all our fault.
Because it goes back to the family is the family of the abuser is a toxic, they're so toxic. Because it's a generational thing. They think it's normal. Like Denise was saying, it goes back to they're normal. They're yelling. They're putting people down. That's how they grew up. So then they when the abuser abuses someone, oh, it's normal. You spoke up. Now you're the problem. They don't register it in their head that no, you're really the problem.
And they really blame us. So it's really all our fault. And we was like, well, how was it our fault? But I know we keep talking because we got a lot to talk about. But I know I'm not finished with you. And I know that we got some things to do in this next segment. Can we have you to come back?
Yeah, I'll come right back.
Okay. All right. Well, she's gonna be back, and we thank you for coming and sharing. I have on a part of the Let's the part of the Let's Talk show, we're gonna donate $100 for you and your children to either help with your Thanksgiving meal or just to take them out to lunch or whatever. So we're gonna give that donation to you. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. We got to finish this story, though. Okay? All right, we'll be right back, you guys.
Love CMAC but don't have all the channels on your TV? CMAC is now available on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and it's always free. Watch any of the 3 channels whenever you want with the power of your remote. Got an Apple TV? You can stream CMAC live or on demand using the free CMAC app. On the home screen, open the App Store. Now search CMAC. The CMAC app will pop up. You can download the app, and that's it. Got a Roku TV? Using the main menu on the left, go to Streaming Channels. From here, go to Search Channels. Type CMAC, and the CMAC channel will pop up. Download it, and that's it. Have a new Fire TV? On the home screen, just click on the search icon in the top left corner and search CMAC, or use the microphone and say CMAC. The CMAC app will pop up, select it, and download the app. That's it. You'll be able to stream CMAC live or watch your favorite programs on demand. For the latest updates, follow us on social media or check out cmac.tv. Happy streaming.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about a really crucial subject today, and it's about domestic violence and narcissists. And we want to update you and let you and educate you on narcissists, especially in your relationship. It could be in relationships, it could be in your family, your mother, your father, your friends, but more than likely it's in the your marriages and girlfriend and boyfriend relationships. We want to teach you guys the signs, the red flags. We want you to really get a chance to learn about not only what narcissist is, but how we can overcome, we can maneuver and recognize and maybe save your life, you know?
Right.
So we're going to turn this over. We're going to be doing this for 3 months. We're just letting you know, if anybody is having a relationship or they've been in a relationship and they would like to come on the show, you can email us at letstalkdment@gmail.com, or you can get on our Facebook page and you can inbox us and let us know, because these are some things that we're trying to help women and other people go through. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to beautiful Chevelle. She's our domestic violence advocate for this show, and let's see what you got to tell us today.
Hi everyone. So this is a good topic. It's really needed because people get it confused with just abuse, but narcissistic abuse is different because it's psychological, and I think it's actually worse than regular physical abuse, because that goes away. When you get abused physically, it takes longer. It's deeper wounds. I had to go to therapy for years. So again, narcissistic abuse, I have my notes here so I don't forget because it's a lot. It's NPD. So if you ever hear that, it's narcissistic personality disorder. It's a personality disorder. A lot of people use it loosely, like, oh, this person's a narcissist. No, it's an actual disorder. So some of the signs with narcissistic people is they like to twist your words. So they like to twist your words and confuse you in your head, and you have to question your reality. So for example, like let's say somebody if the abuser hit you and then you recap that, they're like, no, I never did that. And they will like lie to the death of them. That's the crazy thing. They're also habitual liars. So they question your reality, and then you get so clouded in your head, because I was there as well. That's why I had to go to therapy for years. You start questioning your reality, and then it's also like gaslighting you, because then it gets you mad, and then then you react, and then it's a reactive abuse as well. And then they're like, oh, look at another thing what narcissistic people do when they get you to react from their abuse. They will be calm and they get a thrill out of it. So like my abuser, he would get the camera, and when I would like eventually get tired of it and flip out, he'd be like, oh, look, she's crazy. Oh, look at her. Like, just, it was so mental. It was evil. You have to constantly walk on eggshells. So I know for me, I have what is it called? Like, I don't know what you would say, somebody's energy or something like that. So I know, like with my abuser, my spirit was always like, what's the word? It was like not at ease. Every time he was around, and I would always wonder why. And it's because I always had to walk on eggshells around him because his spirit was like off. So I always had to make sure, okay, I don't want to say this, I don't want to do this or whatever to get him upset. And then he would just flip out. And I mean, on birthdays, on you name it, it was always something. It was always something. I know, for example, we'd go to a birthday party, we'd go to church, we'd go somewhere. He'd be like, "Oh, you're wearing that? You look fat. Oh, you're ugly." Right before we would go somewhere, and then I would be upset, and people are like, "Oh, why are you mad?" "Oh, she's just like that. She has a stupid face all the time." Like, so he would always say that, and it's like, okay, but people didn't see behind the scenes because narcissistic mask who they really are. They're cowards, so they mask who they are because they're nice around people, but behind closed doors, they're monsters. So you have to walk on eggshells. And also when you walk on eggshells, you're also, this is a fear-based control, but you're also in flight or fight mode. So I was in that mode for a very long time. Like my body could not relax. I was like, my mind was always thinking. It was horrible. And I was, they compare narcissistic abuse, like when you get out, to kicking a heroin addiction because of the dopamine. And my body was like that for a long time. I hated it. And I was not even on drugs. I was normal. But because of all the abuse for so long, my balance was so off. And I was in fight or flight mode. I could not relax. I hated it. But that's part of being abused for such a long time. Also, we talked about this before. They like to love bomb you. We talked about this before. So they love to flood you with attention at first. You're like the best thing next to sliced bread. And then they switch up like a light switch. I know, again, referring back to my situation, my ex would be like, one day he was fine. The next day, he would pack all his stuff and like leave for months. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, and it would get me so messed up in my head. And I'm just like, no, don't leave. Like all like now that I think about it, like that's so dumb. But when you're caught up in that relationship, you don't see nothing else but that. You're like so blind, you know. And it was just always like a light switch. It's also like emotional abuse. So one minute they love you, the next minute it's like they hate you without saying they hate you. It's their actions. Another thing, because we could go on, so I'm going to say this and then we'll have a conversation. So because it's going to be 3 months, so we'll go on, but we're going to just cover these topics. Also, they blame you for everything. They blame you for everything. Narcissistic people never like to take accountability for anything. They will twist the truth. My ex-husband's twin sister slandered my name and she twisted the truth. She twisted the truth. They're such good habitual liars and manipulators that people believe that their manipulation is the truth when it's far from the truth.
Right.
So even after you get away from the abuser, the narcissist, you still have to deal with their family, and it's an extension of the abuse. They just don't go away. They just continue on and continue on. It's just evil. And then again, like I talked about, it's gaslighting and emotional manipulation. They twist your words. So a lot of times you hear narcissistic people say, "Oh, she's crazy. Oh, my ex was crazy. You're sensitive. You're never happy. You're imagining things in your head," because they say those things to gaslight you, so that your reality is like, okay, well maybe he didn't say that. Maybe he didn't do that. But it's a lot of manipulation, and we talked about this a little while ago. Also, isolation. They slowly pull you away from your friends and your family and your support system. That's what happened with me. And then I lost myself. He was on me like every move I made. He was checking my social media. He was doing this. And then come to find out, it was all him. He was projecting everything he did on me. Oh, you're cheating. You're doing this. And I was going crazy in my head. I was actually calling the 1-800 number for Marjorie Mason because I was going crazy in my head. I was like, I can't deal with, like, I was gonna have like an emotional meltdown. It was so bad. And thank God I went to therapy. I'm still going to therapy. I learned how to create healthy boundaries. I've educated myself a lot on narcissistic abuse because I don't ever want to go through it. And I want to be able to educate other women on the signs of narcissistic. So we're just going to talk about these, like I said, and then we'll go on because there's a lot to cover.
Yes, it is. It's an awful lot. And when you discuss it, it really hit home to some of the things that we see as women, but we don't react to. Could you put up the photo for us right quick before we get off the subject for right now? Okay, while he's doing that, I just want to commend you again for standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
When I went to court and I was testifying to court, they always have someone to come and sit with us and do what they need to do with us, and I appreciated that. But do you know, almost every case, the woman was writing a letter for the man to get out.
Yes.
That happens a lot.
Yes.
I couldn't, because I'm trying to write a letter to speak out for myself and how I felt and how, why this person should get counseling or get help with whatever they're going through, not just be put away, but to get help because they need help. Everybody was writing letters on how he was sorry and I just want to get back with him. And I even talked to a couple of the ladies there and they was like, well, he spit on me. I said, oh God, because I got spit on
It's
too.
a trauma bond.
I'm just telling you, it is. I said so, because people was like, I was like, oh, he spit on me, and I thought it was okay. They looked at me and it was like, no, that's not okay. I said, what do you mean? He just probably spit on me because he wanted to hit me, and he couldn't. So you don't think that that's bad, but hers started the same way, and then he started to beat her.
Yeah.
So usually with the abuse, that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, and also too, it also creates and manifests a symptom called narcissistic victim syndrome. And a narcissistic victim syndrome is just like the ones you discussed, writing letters and saying, hey, he wasn't that bad. He's, he was just, he just had an episode, but he's going to get better. And that person continues to seek out men just like that. And so when they go to another relationship, they say, hey, you know what, this man, he put his hand up at me, but he didn't hit me. So I know that, he's not like my last relationship. And so that narcissistic victim syndrome, it creates it manifests to the point where it says, hey, you know what, I'm going to enable more and more men who believe in this type of ability to keep acting the way they do. Right now, there is a online web community called the Manosphere. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the Manosphere, but the Manosphere is based off of many different groups of men who believe that women are a detriment to their lives, And so you have incels, and incels are involuntary celibates. Women aren't attracted to them, and so they don't have sex with women. And because of that, because women aren't attracted to them, they think that women have destroyed their life, So that's an incel, Then you have race cells, and then you have MGTOWs, men going their own way. That's a whole different other community, in which they say that, men can go their own way, men can do what they want to do. Okay, they don't need a woman to be, in the scene. This is the belief and the thought that a lot of men in the manosphere have. You also have pickup artists. Pickup artists, they collect women. They go through a set, sense of sayings and things they do to deceive a woman and to have sex with them, to sleep with them and do things like that. So when you look at the manosphere in general, it has grown astronomically And one of the reasons why it has grown is because a lot of people are being alone. You know, they're sitting alone, they're by themselves, and so they're not becoming social. And because you're not becoming social, you don't have the ability to have a social relationship with anyone else. You know? And so because you don't do that, when someone finds that, hey, you know what, I kind of like you, you know, you're kind of cute, you know, I think I want to date you, they don't know how to act, you know. Incels that women don't like, you know, that aren't attracted to, incels, they believe that a woman, though, should be beautiful, tiny waist, nice body, she need to be, you know, she need to wait on me hand and foot, you know, and that's what incel believes in. So the manosphere in itself has become huge, you know, and it has come, I could do a whole class on this, but lately, within the last 5-6 years, it has grown so bad that it believes that incels are considered one of the one of the biggest problems in domestic terrorism today, you know, especially to women. Yeah, and so, but that's a whole new chapter. One other last thing I want to tell you is we all have an emotion called Schadenfreude. And Schadenfreude is an emotion where you enjoy the discomfort, seeing the discomfort in others. You know, and so when you have the emotional shock, we all have it. Okay, because like if you work with somebody, you can't stand that person, they get on your nerves, and you see them getting a ticket in the morning on the way to work, and you like, good, I'm glad I'm glad he got a ticket.
Yeah, I'm glad he got a ticket.
So that's that feeling of Schadenfreude. But just like every emotion we can have an abundance of it. You know, people can be overly sad, overly happy. You know, people can have over amount of Schadenfreude, you know. And so we're seeing that more and more when we see that narcissists, they love to see the discomfort and they get joy out of seeing the discomfort of others or the one that they're with. And that gets into that emotion of Schadenfreude.
You're exactly right. So narcissistic people, they don't like to see you do better than them. So my ex-husband, that's why my ex-sister-in-law, they're twins, that's why she smeared my name. Because she would always say, you're trash, you're this, you belong in a mental institution. So when I started my business and, you know, everything I do in the community, she started smearing my name. But it went back to my ex-husband because he started smearing my name too behind my back. So really I was sleeping with the enemy, not even knowing it.
Don't even know.
He was sleeping, he was, you know, just smearing my name too. Like, oh, shut that effing business down and this and that and the other, instead of like supporting me and be like, dude, that's my bread and butter, you know, like, and he didn't. And they don't like to see you do better. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're happy, they hate you.
Yeah.
That's so V is exactly right. They're hateful people. I call them Satanistic people. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
You know what? That is so.
But they like to see
we
people
didn't
suffer.
even understand this. I didn't understand
did
any
joy.
of these
Yeah,
things. No one taught me this.
Right. I had an older mother, so one of the things she always prided herself on is making sure her daughters understood what was okay and what was not okay in a relationship. What was acceptable, what was not acceptable. And she always said, if a man puts his hands on you one time, you don't give him a second chance. There's no such things. And, you know, I know that can be tough because, you know, I'm really, especially when they get to pleading and begging with you, saying how sorry they are. And they didn't mean to do it. But the things you have to remember, if a person loves you, they're not going to hurt you.
That's right.
Whether it be physically, and again, like I said, most people don't understand that the emotional abuse started way before the physical abuse. So if you don't see that, it is going to get physical because that person had been working on you for a long time. And one of the things I was looking at with the dictionary, it was saying about the gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where a person makes someone else question their own reality, their memory or sanity. It's done through tactics like lying, denying things that happen, and twisting facts to gain control and undermine the victim's self-confidence. Over time, this can lead to the victim feeling confused, anxious, and dependent on the manipulator. So you were absolutely right what you were saying, how you were feeling, because a lot of times people will question themselves. Why am I feeling this way? And when they find that you're not willing to comply with that, that's when they start getting physical. When you're saying, no, you're not telling the truth. I did not say that. You're saying that.
Yes.
Because they're going to always make you feel and twist your words.
Even, you're exactly right, because I remember situations where, like, I caught my ex, let's say, like, cheating or whatever. He would lie to the death of him and be like, no, like, switch the whole thing around. And I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. And then it would escalate to, like, him abusing me, like him hitting me or slapping me or whatever the case was, you know? So you're exactly right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
And they'll accuse you of things that they know that's not true.
Exactly.
I was sitting in a funeral. I'm telling you the truth. This really happened. I'm sitting in a funeral, and he's sitting right next to me. And when I walk outside, he's mad. And I'm like, what is he mad for? He's like, yeah, he was looking at that man over there. What man? I'm at a funeral. I don't know nothing about no man. And just start a whole lot of stuff because they want to be the center of attention.
Yes.
And I noticed that every time we would go to a funeral or repast or something, he always acts out in a way so all the attention could be on him. So these are real things that's going on, ladies and our gentlemen. These are real things that's going on, and you got to know what they are. It's not love. You're so right, Denise. It can't. If someone loves you, and I always use my son as an example, I loved him so much, my baby. I could never hit him.
Right.
Even my girls, as bad as they made me mad, I might pop them once or twice. But that's it. I'm not gonna get them and just beat them and beat them and beat them for hours. Or, when you love somebody, you don't mistreat them. You're so right. Thank you for bringing that up because we hear it all the time. But people need to understand that is so true.
And we have to start teaching our children when they're little kids that this is not okay. Even when they get into conflict with their friends, teaching them how to resolve conflict. And that's where it starts at when they're really little. A 2-year-old, I'm watching TikTok, and people are letting their little 1 and 2-year-olds go over there and sock each other. That's never okay because that's how it starts. It starts. You see that with teenage girls being abused by their teenage boyfriends. They're 12 and 13 years old being beat up by a 14-year-old boy. That makes absolutely no sense at all.
He learned it somewhere.
Yes, you learned it from home. Oh, well, this is how my mom, she beat us like this here with a extension cord, so you're going to beat someone with a extension cord.
Yes.
It's never, ever okay. And like I said, that one of the things that women have to remember, everything, like they tell us as women, you're strong if you're by yourself all the time. Women don't need friends. You can be by yourself. That's the strongest woman. That is a strong woman. Yes, it is. But is that the best for you mentally? No, because you don't have anyone you can turn to, or you don't feel safe turning to someone, letting them know and letting them inside. Someone should always know, even when you're dating, where you're at. You should have somebody. When you're out there dating women, you should have a 360 on you. Somebody, trust that one person. That's how come so many people or women are end up dead. Yes. Dead. Yeah. Because no one knows where you are.
Right.
And there's an app called Life 360.
Yes.
It's a free app. You can pay for some extra stuff for it. But right now, my daughter, she's working up in San Francisco, so I can see where she's at all the time.
Me too.
I'm not sitting there. I'm not. She's 26 years old. And she's doing her thing. But I just want to know where she's at.
Where his kids is at. He's a good father.
My daughter's 41 years old, live in Florida, and I know where she at all the time. Because I keep it on there. Yeah, I'm that mother. And even the one that's married, I want to know where she at. And my son, he's single. I want to know where you are. I tell him until you get a partner, and I'm good with it. I'm going to keep that 360 on you.
Life
That's the bottom
360.
line.
Life 360.
That's my responsibility.
I love that.
Yeah. So you have to have someone that has your back, and you have to allow them, and allow them to even talk to you, because so often you get upset and angry at the person that's trying to help you, which is understanding because you're defending yourself. Well, he didn't really mean what he did.
Oh yeah, we'll say that.
But even if you get upset, go back and sit with yourself and think about what that person said, what they're seeing, and how you changed.
And that's one of the big things that I was finding with that narcissistic personality disorder, is that it's people that start off with these traits, but they never go get help. Right? They don't think anything's wrong, right? Their reality is their reality, but it's not the truth. And then you have the family and friends that are enabling, right? Something happens, that first situation. This is where I always say, I struggle with this with women. I always think that first 6 months, you know if this is your person or not, right? You've seen some things that kind of maybe gave you a little tingle or red flag here or there, and you just kind of ignored it. But I say that first 6 months is really critical in determining if this is someone that really deserves to be in your space or not. And this is where I always encourage, even the young girls, right? As they're dating, I always say, you put them in your phone. You use their last name, right? Say, for instance, their last name could be Johnson. Put Johnson, and I added an extra. I'm like, even if you want to give them so many chances, put Johnson, and then at the end put DNA, right? So every time one of those red flags pop up, like you said, he's in the car and he's, giving you a question. That was kind of weird. Okay, the J's coming off my phone, right? Now he's in my phone is Onsen. Okay, now he does something else. Now guess what? That O's coming off. That's right. Right? By the time I get through that JOHNSON, what's left is DNA. Okay, do not answer. Right? And that's my biggest block and delete. And know that you can give chances. We do this a lot, right? We'll give them chances. We'll be forgiving. We'll say, oh, you know what? Maybe it was a lapse in judgment. Maybe I didn't understand. But if you start seeing those letters disappear on your phone, then you can't question yourself, right? Yeah. Because those were moments where something tingled and said, something's not right here. I can't put a finger on it, I can't call it, but guess what? That letter's coming off. It was just something that wasn't right. And once you get to that, like you said, delete, block, go, run, right? You know what? Because this just isn't your person.
I love this.
And if his last name's Schwarzenegger, just
and you're going to take off 3 letters at a time.
So you got to take 3 letters.
3 letters.
I just wanted to add something real quick. So since we're talking about narcissistic abuse, women can also be narcissistic. It just does not pertain to men. So real quick, I wanted to go over it real quick. They have the same characters, what I just mentioned, but narcissistic women, they're a little different because they think they're the queen bee. They are very promiscuous. They sleep around. There's a lot of different traits to these women, but they all, the same thing, they gaslight, everything I went over. They twist the truth. So I just wanted to throw that in there too.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that too.
And one other thing with women, they also enable the man to, they make them feel like, codependent on them. Yeah. And then they start putting them down. Also, they throw in their face about their providing for them, making them feel bad. And then if they get one that is was incarcerated and come out, they use that power play that I'm going to call your parole agent on you, get out my house, you're not going to stay here anymore.
You got a leash.
Yes. Yeah. And that's very emotional for a man, number one, that he just got out. You promised that he's going to have a better life. You guys are going to work together, and he's doing everything he can. But here you are as a woman that he trusted and trusted his most inner thoughts too, that you would take that and use it on him.
Right.
So women have to be very careful as well with what they say and do, because they can be equally, if not more, damaging.
Come on.
Because generally a man that trusts you had trust his mother, or he was having a lot of female issues with his mom. And so one of the things we just want to make sure that everyone is aware of what those signs are. And whatever you do, don't isolate yourself. I'm not saying you got to have 100 friends, but you need at least a friend that you can confide in, and always have a plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you need to have an escape route. You need to have it somewhere. What you're going to do with a key, you know, an Uber number, something. In case he takes your cell phone, you have another one planted out somewhere, and you and the kids can get away.
Yes.
Because it's always more difficult when you have a child than when you do not. Because most women don't want to leave their kids with the person.
Right. That's right.
But you have to save yourself first, because when you get on the airplane, the first thing they tell you, you need to buckle up, you need to put your own mask on if something happens, and before you can help anybody else. So you have to help yourself first before you can even help your children.
Ain't that the truth? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this.
So
That is so true.
And it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Everything, our minds are powerful. It dictates and tells us everything that we need to do in this lifetime.
That's right.
You can heal your body by the way you think.
Truth. Yes.
You can heal your own body. You can heal, people heal themselves from cancer because their minds are so strong.
Wow.
You know? So just know how powerful you are as a woman.
Okay.
Never forget that. You are powerful.
Oh, you are powerful too.
You are very powerful. Thank you.
You are.
And like I said, and it's okay to cry. Shoot, cry.
Oh, yes. We have to.
I just say lay down for 10 minutes, cry, get it over with, and get up and do what you got to do.
I love it. We got to talk, Denise. Oh, my goodness.
That's what you do.
I love this.
We all deserve to let something out.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing her here with us because we need her. You're going to have to come back. You ain't going to be able to just do this. You got too much wisdom that we need as young women. We need that. We need that wisdom. That's what's lacking in our neighborhoods. That's what's lacking in a lot of our households. That's why a lot of women are being abused, because don't nobody care enough to speak out and tell them something. Because I know it's going to be somebody watching, and they're going to hear you, and they're going to hear what's going on at this table, and it can save their lives. So I appreciate you women so much. We're going to get ready and take a break, but before we do, Denise is going to be coming back because she's going to be talking about something about mental health. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Empowerability,
empowerability. Could you tell us a little bit about it before we go to break?
Empowerability is a recreation program that's housed over at Vision View, and it's for developmental disability clients. And we have different activities, and you can tell them about the activities.
We have activities that range from storytelling to DJing with DJ that went to school with us.
Dave.
Dave, yeah.
Okay, Dave.
So DJing. My sister actually has it's called Simba's Paws, in which she does what do you call it, collars for dogs, when they make collars for little dogs and things, but it's just to mostly create a social setting where people that have disabilities feel welcome. They feel normal, because they're around people that understand, what they're going through. So.
This is amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
And it also gives their caregiver a time out, because being a caregiver it can be very daunting.
Right.
And so one of the things is they'll have a safe place to go, and they can our program starts from 12 noon to about 7 p.m. on average. Right. Yeah. And 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Right. And then we have some weekend programs as well that we are starting up.
And the thing about it too is that it can accent any day programs that are actually, that they may be in right now. So if we have people that are in a day program, but they have a 5-hour block of time where they just going to the park or walking on the mall or, they're doing it, they can say, okay, well, why don't we just take them over here to Vision View, and let them, do some rec for 5 hours, and they can go sit in the wisdom room at the couches or whatever.
You see, people, we
have
people
quiet
that
spaces,
love people and who care, because a lot of times you don't think that. I think this is amazing.
And they have to be certified through CVRC.
Okay.
We do have some spots for people that are not CVRC,
Okay, but mostly through CVRC.
CVRC.
Yes.
And they have to have a developmental disability.
Yes.
And
Or a physical disability.
Or physical disability.
Okay.
And we welcome them.
Okay.
So we say come out next on the 19th, Wednesday the 19th of November. We're having an open house from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Over at Vision View. You do not need to call us, just show up, come and check out our program.
Definitely.
And we would love to have you.
Yeah.
So is there age bracket?
Yes, 12 and up.
Okay,
12
12
and
We
up.
are planning to create a senior citizen program, which will be in the daytime.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are working on our seniors coming in, and they will have their own separate programs in the morning.
I thought they gave up on my singing.
Oh no, I love some seniors, and seniors love me. That's my children and seniors are my thing.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Also on the 19th at Vision View, I want to also mention that we have Ms. Shakola Harrington. She's doing a seminar on Medicare. So she works with Medicare, and she'll explain A, B, C, some of the changes that you're facing. Tell people what they need to do if they're going into Medicare. So
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I love you guys so much. D, you guys just don't know how much it means to be able to sit at a table and talk with people who care, who have a heart, who actually want to help our community. I think it's amazing what you guys are doing there at Vision View. I didn't know it in detail, but I know I stay busy all the time, but I'm going to definitely we're going to be talking about this a lot. In case you guys don't know, the the Let's Talk show, it airs every day, Monday through Friday. They probably got us on weekends. I ain't looked at it yet. Monday through Friday, every night at 8 o'clock. This is our fifth, everybody know this is our fifth season. This is our 2.5, 3 years. We done made it, but that's how they could get in contact, if they want to see the shows, even previous shows. We also have our own YouTube channel, it's Let's Talk. The Let's Talk show, DM Entertainment, and it's dedicated to my baby, the one that died. He was autistic, and his name was Deshaun Martin. So that's where DM Entertainment comes from. After he died in 2021, he couldn't speak, so he had a pulmonary embolism, and he couldn't lay down, and I didn't know why. So he was sick, and he could just say hospital, or he'd probably say sick, but I didn't understand. But I was sent him to the hospital every time he said H word. Okay, but he ended up dying in the ambulance, and I was messed up for a long time. And so I did the grief share, and one of the ladies, we talked, and she was like, "Why don't you do a talk show?" And I laughed, and I said, "Oh, girl, no." But me and Rhonda and a couple of us got together, and we decided to do this so we could talk. And people can learn and listen, and maybe we can help someone. So it's just an honor to be able to sit next to you ladies and see all that you guys care about and the help that you're offering to someone that's watching. So I ain't doing it for YouTube likes. Don't think that. That's not our mission here, because we got people see us every day on TV. But we do it on YouTube for the people who's out of town, that can't.
I love the fact that you're leaving a legacy for your son. You're not you're not just basking in your sorrows. You're like, you know what? My son's legacy is gonna live on, and you're helping other people through him. So I think that's very beautiful. And I did not know that DM Entertainment was your son's initials. That's beautiful.
I gotta show you some pictures.
So give me your roses. Yes.
He died at 29. Thank you.
Yes, God bless you with him for 29 years.
And he was autistic, so I love children with disabilities, and what you guys are doing, I am definitely going to do that.
Just come by and take a look, and we would be more than glad to have you.
I'm definitely going to be there. Y'all going to see me a lot more, because I'm going to make it my stance to be there, because I love what you guys are doing, and I thank God for just bringing people like you, Tanella, and Chevelle too, and D. You my boy. He been hanging with us from the start. The only man, but he been hanging with us. And I
used to being around all these
women.
And I think a good temperament, because I'm always like so on him. Like, I need this here, and he probably like, is she really?
But we gonna take this break, because we coming back with Miss P, baby, and she got some good food for us. I know we took some time, time, but that's the way it goes when we're going to be doing this series. So we will be right back.
What I love about CMAC is that they provide me with the knowledge,
The equipment, the space to express myself,
to amplify my voice,
to share my story, my story.
my story. Go to cmac.tv/mystory to learn more.
All right. Hey, we fit to be eating with Miss P. Come on, Miss P, tell us these goodies you done did for us today.
I made soy sauce baked chicken wings with ginger, garlic, onions, and some green onions, and seasonings, of course. And I also made cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger sliders with arugula and bacon. I made stuffed jalapenos. It's not spicy. Took all the seeds out, and I stuffed it with cream cheese, Italian sausage, and mozzarella cheese. Okay, and I made lumpias, which it has ground pork in it with garlic, onions, cabbage, carrots, vegetables.
That's what the sauce is for.
I made, and that's what the sauce is for.
Right.
And that is my favorite growing up as a kid. I'm Samoan, we're Polynesians. So that is Spam that's cooked in teriyaki sauce, and it's rolled up in seaweed with rice. So I wanted to introduce you something on, on my side. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you. Oh, and I made you some ghetto Kool-Aid with some fresh fruit.
You can't ever go wrong with the
Can't go
Kool-Aid.
wrong.
Okay. Well, can we bring something to the table? Okay. We'll be right back because we just put something on our plate so you can see how good it tastes, okay? We'll be right back.
Love CMAC but don't have all the channels on your TV? CMAC is now available on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and it's always free. Watch any of the 3 channels whenever you want with the power of your remote. Got an Apple TV? You can stream CMAC live or on demand using the free CMAC app. On the home screen, open the App Store. Now search CMAC. The CMAC app will pop up. You can download the app, and that's it. Got a Roku TV? Using the main menu on the left, go to Streaming Channels. From here, go to Search Channels. Type CMAC, and the CMAC channel will pop up. Download it, and that's it. Have a new Fire TV? On the home screen, just click on the search icon in the top left corner and search CMAC, or use the microphone and say CMAC. The CMAC app will pop up, select it, and download the app. That's it. You'll be able to stream CMAC live or watch your favorite programs on demand. For the latest updates, follow us on social media or check out cmac.tv. Happy streaming.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. So now we're eating what she made, and it's so delicious. You forgot to tell us something that you made. What was it?
I actually made some Kool-Aid. It's strawberry lemonade with fresh apples and strawberries and lime.
Y'all got that on camera? Cameraman?
And I made
Y'all
a simple
showing that?
syrup instead of just throwing sugar in
Really?
it. Yes.
That's why it's not super
Equal parts of sugar and water, and you just put it in the pot on the stove until it turns clear, and then that's your simple syrup.
Wow.
Good. Yeah, actually
Thank
makes
you.
drink.
So this is, what is this right here? This is an egg roll?
That is called a lumpia, and it's got ground pork, cabbage, carrots, onions, garlic, ginger.
I don't know what is it, boy, it's so good. What you guys think about the food?
Delicious.
Delicious.
Thank you.
It's all right.
You don't miss a meal when you can do it.
You sure don't. I get the call, what you cook?
It'd be nice when you want to eat, huh?
There's fresh ginger in here?
Yeah.
I can taste it. It's good.
It is so good. All this is so good.
It is
And
good.
everything in there is good for you.
Like that part.
And then we have a little honey baked ham I went and got. Christmas is the holidays. Y'all know that's good too. All this is so good. We thank you so much. It's been a joy since you've been here on our show. And we love you, and we're looking forward to so many more delicious meals that you're going to be creating for us. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming and supporting the show. And let me tell you something. We got 2 more months to do this narcissistic relationship and red flags, learning about it and what to do. We have so many different parts to it. We want you guys to watch, and we hope you enjoy it just as much as we do. Remember, we're on Monday through Friday, 8 p.m., Xfinity, Channel 93, AT&T Uverse, Channel 99. We also have a YouTube channel, Let's Talk DM Entertainment. Then we have our own Facebook, X, and we got Instagram. Check us out. Remember, if anyone has been abused or if they know someone who's a narcissist and they would like to come on to the show, please call me at 209-761-7879, or you can email us at letstalkdment@gmail.com. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.